Do you want to sabotage your home buying experience? Well, if you say these things to a real estate agent, you might watch everything fall apart. In this video, I'm going to share with you things you should never say to your real estate agent when buying a home. There's quite a few things here I want to talk about, and this is all to help you have a better home buying experience with your real estate agent. So let's get started. Before I get into this, I just want to say I know I'm going to give a lots of craps from other real estate agents, but I'm sorry. If you stay to the end of the video, I have a gift for you. You can download a free copy of a buyer's guide from a first link in the description below. It's a great roadmap for first-time home buyers. Here we go again. So there are agents out there that will take the information that the clients will share with them, and in many cases, they are using it against them and use it more to their advantage and put their buyers at a disadvantage. So that's why I want to do this video to share with you what you shouldn't be saying, while it's really super important to have great communications with real estate agent. You do have to be careful about the type of information you are sharing with it. Before we get into the list, if this is your first time on my channel, my name is Sibo Zhang, a real estate agent working in North Surrey in BC, British Columbia. I help first-time home buyers find their dream home. The first topic you should not be discussing with your real estate agent is your financial information. You don't need to share with your real estate agent how much money you make and how much money you have in the bank, what your credit score is. As real estate agents, we don't need to know that, because what happens is if you are saying your budget is $500,000, but you are disclosing to your real estate agent that you make a lot of money, you have lots of money in the bank, some agent might take the information and use that against you by showing you more expensive homes. I have clients told me it had happened with someone they know. It happens and it's horrible. The only person you should be disclosing your financial information to is your lender. In order to qualify for your mortgage, they need to know your income, what do you have in the bank, or your down payment amount, and your credit score. But I don't need to know that. Real estate agents do not need to know that. The only thing that a real estate agent needs to know is that you are pre-approved and how much mortgage do you qualify for. And that's it. So don't disclose all your financial information, because some agents might use this against you and try to show you more expensive homes. Second thing you should avoid telling your real estate agent is discussing scenarios if you have a divorce that's happening or you have an impending deadline to buy a house. Okay, if you have a job transfer, what do you have now? Only disclose that it's absolutely necessary. And the reason why I'm saying that is don't share that right off the bat is because, again, the real estate agent could use that against you to pressure you to buy a house. So for example, they could use that information to pressure you to accept the seller's counter offer, or contingencies. The seller may come back and say, you know what, I want you to waive the appraisal, I want you to waive the inspection, and then the house is yours. An agent could use your situation and say, you know, what you are going to have to find a new place to live because you're getting divorced or whatever you need to get out of your current apartment. And you are going to end up homeless if you don't accept this offer. So be careful disclosing that information. And if you find that if the agent is pressuring you like that, I'd find a new real estate agent. I'd be tossing them out, because they should not be using that against you. Third scenario is sometimes buyer agent will actually tell the listing agent, hey, my client, they really need this house. So I'm sure I can work something out, and I convince them to accept your seller's offer. So now the listing agent and the seller will know that you're under the gun. You need to get the place to live. So now they're going to have upper hand. You are going to be in control. Don't disclose that information unless you absolutely have to. If it's necessary, if they're using that to pressure you to accept an offer to buy a house, kick them out. The fourth thing you shouldn't say to a real estate agent is, I'm working with a couple of agents. I'm going to tell you, I don't recommend you even working with a couple of agents. But let's go back to why you shouldn't even be saying that. If you say this to a real estate agent the first time you are meeting them and you say, you know what, I will work with you, can you show me some houses, and by the way, I'm working with a couple of other agents. That real estate agent is not going to really do much for you. Why? Because look, the reality is agents don't get paid until closing. So we are putting all the time and effort and money on gas and driving around to show you different houses. And if you're going to tell them, oh, I'm working with a couple of agents, and they are not going to put that effort in, and honestly, I would not do that. If you're telling me you're working with somebody else, I'm not going to do that. And I will tell you, I don't recommend working with multiple agents. Well, some people feel like working with multiple agents is going to have more exposure to look at more houses. If you are working with a couple of agents in one market, those agents are seeing the same thing on the multiple listing service. So there really is no difference unless one agent has access to off-market properties, but we are pretty much looking at the same houses on the multiple listing service now. If you're looking into two different markets, say relocating from one city to a different city, that's a different story. So you wouldn't need a real estate agent in one market and need another in a different market because they are local experts to those housing markets. So that's fine. But I don't recommend doing that, and don't ever say that they're not going to work for you. The fifth thing you shouldn't say to your real estate agent is, I went on some sort of website like Zillow and I saw the estimate, and this estimate is actually lower than what the listing price is. Don't do that because they are not going to take you seriously. I know this sounds horrible, but the reason we don't take you seriously is because estimates are not accurate. This is not an accurate pricing tool. If you want to know what the real estate of the home is, you can ask your buyer's agent to run the CMA, which aka a comparative market analysis. Have them look at what's sold in the neighborhood within the last 3 to 6 months, and that will show you what the true value is for that home. But going in and saying, hey, I look at this Zillow and this is the estimate, I'm going to offer what this estimate says, they're not going to take you seriously. I'm sorry to say that. So don't rely on Zillow estimate. If you want to know the true value, ask your real estate agent to pull up what has recently sold off the multiple listing service. The sixth thing, you should never tell your agent exactly how much you are willing to spend on a property, especially a property that you really love. And what I mean is, so say you tell your real estate agent that we're only willing to spend up to $400,000. But then there is a house that came to the market you absolutely love, but you can go higher. Say you can actually go up to $450,000. Be careful revealing that to your real estate agent because, again, this could be used against you if you are in multiple offer situation. You do need to come above listing price. You know that. It's a good time to let your agent know that. But again, be careful revealing that information because what your agent can do is they can take that information and then start showing you more expensive homes. Or if you come across another home you want to put an offer on, they already know, hey, you were willing to offer $450,000 on that house. That's all right now. Here's a little caveat to that I want to share with you now when it comes to making offers. We cannot tell you what to offer, and if you are asking your agent how much I should offer on this house, we're not supposed to give you a number. We can give you a price range. You can go through what has sold and give that information to you, and then you make that decision based on the information. Don't ask us what do we think we should offer on that, especially now in a certain market, still bidding wars happening. We can tell you what to offer. You got to offer what do you think the house is worth, because remember, a house is only worth what a buyer is willing to pay. Just want to throw a couple of other things in here. When you are working with a real estate agent and they are showing you a house, be careful speaking about the house when you are inside the home and criticizing the home. And the things that you don't like, or even showing your enthusiasm that you really like the place. Be careful. Don't do that. Don't reveal your opinion, because the reason I say that is because I'm seeing this a lot. People have cameras in their homes. They do, and even though it's not right, they shouldn't be recording you. But if they happen to hear you making negative comments about the home, you may not be able to get that house because they're not going to be happy with the things you said about it. Don't say that. That's another thing, just to a little tidbit of information that must be careful to keep your mouth shut until you get outside and talk to your agent. Get away from the house and go to the street away from the house, and no one can hear you to discuss what you think about the home. Just saying, so it's important to know these things before you establish a relationship with your real estate agent. At the end of the day, Buying your very first home should feel like an exciting milestone, not a high-stress test when you are constantly worried about saying the wrong things or making the costly mistake. If you want a clear step-by-step roadmap that walks you through the entire process from setting your budget to handing you the keys, I have put together a free first-time home buyer guide. It covers everything you need to know so you can shop with confidence and peace of mind. You can grab your free copy right now using the first link down in the description below. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these tips surprised you the most, or what's your biggest fear when it comes to working with a real estate agent? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and your question might even be on the topic of my next video. Thank you for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you in the next video.